Okay,
So
my dad is getting out of prison after 17 years, and today's the day.
Heaven help me! If love ain't dead, I'ma kill it 'cause it's killing me. Got me, it's the only thing I'll ever need. Heaven help me!
You ready to be imprisoned?
Yes, sir. Oh, hallelujah!
And I assume he'll be living with you?
Oh, no, that's
Absolutely
no-go.
not.
Stage, you dating any black men yet?
Oh, God.
When I get to meet my grandson. Mama said I could take you to ice cream, so we can bond. I might have a proposition for you. You have a driver's license?
People are looking.
A little nod. No, ma'am, not up. Yeah, all right. You kidding.
Variety calls it a post-prison family story with genuine heart. The new Hulu series, Unprisoned, follows a therapist and single mom whose life is turned right side up when her dad gets out of prison and moves into her home along with her teenage son. Joining us now, one of the stars of Unprisoned, Emmy award-winning producer and actress Kerry Washington, and the sitcom's creator and executive producer, Tracy McMillan. Wow, great to have you both. Congratulations on this. It's amazing. I guess, Kerry, this is sort of uncharted territory, looking at post-prison life and humanity after serving time for a crime. Tell us what drew you to this, and also what is it based on, including the woman on the other side of me?
The show is inspired by Tracy McMillan's life. We joke often. I mean, it's not really a joke that Tracy is a miracle. The trauma that she's been through, the circumstances of her life make it so unlikely that she is the rock star of a human being and a writer and producer that she is. But she is all of those things. And I'm so thrilled to be able to get to be in a show that's inspired by the circumstances of her life. It's interesting that you say it's uncharted territory. I mean, I think we tell a lot of stories about what people going into prison and a lot of stories about what it's like in prison, but we don't explore the challenges of what it's like to be a returning citizen as much, of the challenges of trying to re-enter society as a formerly incarcerated person and what it's like to love a formerly incarcerated person.
Talk, if you could, about that dynamic and how it might have changed, how working on this has changed anything about the way you look at relationships.
Me or Tracy?
You first, and then Tracy.
I think one of the things that's great about this show is that there are so many people who relate to the show, right? 80 million Americans are walking around with criminal records, and each one of those people is surrounded by a circle of loved ones who care about them. So the show is so relatable to a lot of people, but people who don't have experience with the criminal justice system also love the show because it's really just about how to be a better parent, how to be a better daughter, how to be a better child, a better grandchild. It's really about learning how to love better and be better and coexist, in multi-generations of a family.
Tracy?
Well, so the story is based on my life. My dad was in prison for most of my life. His most recent sentence was 19 years. And I knew I was going to have to create a relationship with him on the outside. It was one thing when he lived in my phone and when you're visiting in a prison visiting room, but suddenly here it is, while he was gone, I had a kid who was a teenager when my dad got out. So how do you put a family back together? What are the pieces that go into that? And it's about trust. It's about forgiveness. It's about, what does it mean to love another person? How do you practice that? What gets in the way, And then there's also a lot of humor. I think this is a family we've never seen on TV before. And we have a lot of ideas about criminals, but most of them are very grim, tragic ideas. But there's a lot of humor in my family. My dad and I have a lightness to us, So I think what I'm hoping is that we can teach everybody in America a little bit more about relationships and how do we open our hearts and how do we love better. That's really what it's about.
So, Kerry,
Yes.
as Tracy just said, obviously, as you well know, this is such a deeply personal story, yet one with a light touch. What was that like, that responsibility, if you will, for you to sort of bring that to life on the screen?
You know, it's always really fun to play characters who are inspired by real people because there's so much source material there. But myself and Delroy Lindo, who is just stunningly brilliant in this role, we really tried to use Tracy and her beautiful, charming father as jumping off places, right? Like we wanted to capture the love and the laughter of their relationship, but we also wanted to build out the characters that are on this show. So there's so much support in having Tracy here and having this be inspired by her story, but also so much freedom in getting to tell a new version of the story that we think is so, you know, just really ready for audiences. It's been so moving to hear how people are responding to the show. People who have dealt with a family member or loved one who's incarcerated, or just people who say, you know, that one of my favorite sayings is your parents know how to push your buttons because they installed them. And that's a universal idea, whether your parent has been in prison or not, right? So this idea of just learning how to coexist and love each other better, and also kind of let go of the shame that traps families. All families have shame for all different reasons. You know, some of it can be about prison, some of it can be family secrets, whatever it is, but learning to like step into acceptance, radical acceptance and love of each other, and finding the joy and letting go of the shame. That's a lot of what it's about too.
And that is an incredible process that most everybody has to face if they're lucky. And just before you go, just congratulations to you both, Tracy and Carrie, on this beautiful project. And Carrie, just a question for you. I just finished the 30/50 Summit. We celebrate women over 50. We have such a long runway now for all women. I'm curious, like at 46 or whatever, do you look at your career ahead as a nice long runway now? And did you look at it that way when it was starting out?
You know, I've always been really drawn to women in my industry who have had longevity. I think that's one of the reasons why I moved into directing and producing, because I look at women like Diane Carroll and Barbara Streisand and Cicely Tyson, Rita Moreno. Like these women, they are such icons of longevity and being able to just do what you love to do for as long as you want to do it. So they're definitely heroes of mine. I think about Tracy also. You know, Tracy didn't start writing television till her 40s. And so there's just so much opportunity to step into new possibilities for ourselves at any age.
Well, we'd love to have you both at the summit next year. Unprisoned is streaming now on Hulu. Kerry Washington and Tracy McMillan, thank you both very much, and congratulations on this incredible project.